Welcome to the Strenuous Life Radio, the podcast for leaderpreneurs, entrepreneurs, men and women. Learn the essentials and soft skills of the strenuous life. And now, back in the saddle, J.R. Hendrick. A deal's a deal, I say. Well, that's something I stand on. What does it mean? A deal is a deal. That means if you shake that person's hand and you promise them that you're going to do something, and it's within your power to do it, you better do it. Say you promise a businesswoman you admire that once you get the capital, you're going to invest in her acumen. Well, then you better be about taking that promise and keeping it. Because if you don't, then what good are you in the business world? You know, I was raised by my granddad, and one thing he taught me, he said, a man is only as good as his word. If a man's word is good, that means he's very good indeed. And he said, if a man's word is no good, then that means he is absolutely no good. So you need to think about that. I'll tell you something. You make a promise to somebody, whether it's man to woman, man to man, woman to woman, you shake that hand and you make that promise, you better make sure it's within your power to keep that promise. Because it don't do any good. Especially around here in Texas, you know what I mean. I'll tell you something. J.R. Hendrick makes a deal. He does what he can to keep his promises. Because my word is my bond. Let me tell you something. If you make some kind of a deal regarding investment or a divestment, don't underestimate the person that you're making the deal with. Okay? Because let me tell you something, a deal is a treasure. Whether you're going into real estate with somebody or creating blue chip stocks or shoot, even better, something like network marketing, a model I admire. You're making a deal, you better treasure that deal. Because I'll tell you something, that means a lot. That means a lot. There's nothing like a deal like that. Because once you make that deal and you keep that promise, you know what you're doing? You are taking the bull by the horns. That's a saying that's very, very popular here in Texas. Here's another part of keeping the deal. This is something I believe in. Say someone you're close to is having a hard time, maybe an employee or something. And they call you and, you're thinking about, let them go for work, and they're begging you not to let them go. Don't let them go. Look, I'm no nonsense about business, but there's one thing that they can accuse J.R. Hendrick of. I got a tender heart. I got a tender heart towards people. Life is hard. But you know what? Many people can care about us and know that God's got our best interests at heart. But a deal is a deal, regardless. I'm going to say this. I'm going to tell you what I think here. You make that deal, and then you break that promise. Your word is sullied for a long time. You may have good intentions, but your word is sullied. You may say you're a good businessman, and that's all and good. You make that promise. That's just what it is. Your word is sullied. You see, this is a culmination of me creating this playlist called the President's List. Because if a man owns his own company and he's president of that company, what he needs to do is say to people, hey, when I make a deal's a deal. I make a promise. That don't mean undercut people, okay? Undercutting people is wrong. Plain wrong. That's one way to get broken. That's interesting. We've had a break from Jimmy and myself until we could sit there and talk about these things. And I want you to know that when a deal is a deal is a dang deal. Now, I hope you enjoy listening to Strenuous Life Radio. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, become a part of the Strenuous Life community. This is J.R. Hendricks saying until next time, don't just sit there and take it, build your dreams so you can take it. Do what others don't so you can be what others won't. And do what others won't so you can step up, step out, and step in to have what others can't. Like my daddy always says, think strong, and live the strenuous life. God bless y'all. Y'all take care now, you hear?